Hello, everybody, and welcome back to This or That with Kobe and Jatt. Feels like only yesterday we were doing NALCS, but we are here now for This or That. We have 6 slides here.
Don't even explain it. We'll just keep going.
Yeah, we're just keep going. Slide number 1, for This or That, which you're watching on Thursday. Who will win, COG or TL, this coming weekend? I believe it's the first game of the day on Saturday. Who you got, Kobe?
And I would say Team Liquid, pretty heavily favored even after an 0-2 week versus CLG. CLG still have been struggling, and it's really shown in a lot of the games. You know, the communication and coordination everyone talks about, diving too deep, all these aggressive plays and stuff, and the kind of the lack of focus. Yeah,
I think there's been a big lack of focus of COG in game. It feels like the strategies they're playing, they're not very polished with, even if they seem like they know what they want to do, they're just not good at executing. But Team Liquid at the same time has a great week and then a bad week, and then a great week and a bad week. And usually, after the bad week, they have a good week. So they're 0-2, means they're gonna step it up in practice. More reason to predict Team Liquid in this one.
Okay, at least you put a little bit of reason instead of just like going with a pattern of good week, bad week.
Good, bad. It's because they're motivated.
Okay.
To practice better.
Yeah, honestly, I think that almost all people are going to predict the higher percentage chance for Team Liquid, so let's go to the next slide.
But you never know.
But you never know. Counterlogic Gaming, they did get their win versus Echo Fox when they were number 1.
Yeah, they did. Bigger carry, Huni or Jensen?
Ooh. It's interesting because Huni's been playing so much Gangplank that early on in the games, you know, he hasn't been doing that well. You know, he got camped a lot, and he becomes a bigger carry later on. Whereas Jensen has also shifted his playstyle. He talked a lot about mid lane's more important about how you play with your team, and less about just pure domination of your lane. Even so, Jensen has had some very good performances, though.
Yeah, and even last week, he ended up playing Corki in one matchup and Azir in the other, and was up against someone else who roamed more and just kind of stuck in his lane. Was super effective in team fights. But I would say this year, Jensen's been like old reliable. Like he's just been good in every game, whereas Huni, I think, is the guy who's trying harder to carry and has probably carried a few more games. So I'm gonna go with this for this one. Jensen's been great, but it's a different Jensen than we've seen in the past.
It is, yeah. Because Dardock's also doing a lot of work on Echo Fox. Smoothie's doing a lot of work.
Dardock's not in the slide. It's Huni.
I'm splitting off there. I'm gonna go with Jensen. I'm gonna go with that.
All right, we'll have to see what happens. Next slide, number 3. Better objective control. It's Apollo.
This one is no contest.
Literally traded out his smite in a game, and then Apollo was still securing objectives with his Q on Ezreal.
Yeah, he stole a dragon with his ultimate.
A blue buff with his ultimate.
An infernal dragon.
Blue buff with his ultimate, a Baron with his Q.
And
I don't know if Lyra's gotten that many this year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this one is kind of also a throwaway because of how crazy the steals were for Apollo. You don't want to count on those, but they were insane. And those actually did win them the game because they were, TSM should have won that game. They were heavily
misplay or
snowballing.
outplay Apollo's Baron steals.
Apollo definitely gets the vote on this one.
Yeah, he gets the vote on this one. Next slide, this or that. Number 4, more likely to miss playoffs, FlyQuest or 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves have definitely been falling down the table for me. They started out so strong, but it seems like maybe all of the veterans have different ideas of how the game is supposed to be played. It doesn't seem like they're coordinating that well.
They're only one game different, right? FlyQuest is 3-5. And
they're very close in the standings.
They're super close in the standings.
100 Thieves started out really high.
The directions are different. 100 Thieves started 3-0. They lost 4 out of 5. And 100 Thieves just got
FlyQuest.
With Fly, 2Fly on FlyQuest has been really good for this team. I suddenly have faith in this team more than 100 Thieves. This is one of those things that is probably just based on what I saw last week, but I'm going to say that is more likely to miss playoffs.
Yeah, I think 100 Thieves
They're starting to fall apart.
It's mainly the lack of coordination thing. It doesn't look like they're on the same game plan, whereas FlyQuest were shifting around parts.
Yeah.
And now that they feel like they've gotten the parts that they wanted, I think they'll have more success going forward.
Never would have said this 2 weeks ago before I saw Fly in action. Next slide, this or that. More surprising, GGS winning or proactive TSM, Kobe. We had a slide the other week that was asking whether Golden Guardians was hopeless. I said, they got hope.
We said hope.
They will win some games. They picked Lowy. They had a jungle, a Camille.
But
what was more surprising?
Due to the record of Golden Guardians, them winning, I think is more surprising.
Yeah.
Just because it seemed like everything was against them, right? Even though they had gotten kind of close in a couple of games, nobody really had any real, predictions that these guys were going to win a game. But they came out with such a good and well-crafted strategy, and they were able to execute on it as well. It wasn't just a strategy. The mechanics were there, contracts dodging, ults. So, I have to go with Golden Guardians on this one.
Yeah, they smashed them. Proactive TSM, like, one of the games there.
That's like half meme.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's Golden Guardians, mostly memeing about TSM.
Mike Young did have a very good Jax game, though.
Better broadcast edition, pets or inanimate objects? Why can't it be both? These are both.
I'm going with the pets for sure.
Yeah, so Kubo the dog, Karma the cat, she does not like him eating food out of the CLG bowl. Just smacks
that was not a high five. I was going to hit you like
Not
that.
allowed to. But honestly, I do like picking against inanimate objects. I'm currently undefeated against the dart and the coin. Luckily, the coin went 0-5 the 1 week when I went 3-2.
Of course, Jatt's going to say this one because the dog is beating him as far as the predictions. Or at least he was yesterday.
Okay, so I enjoy beating inanimate objects more. I think the pets are a better broadcast edition. It's a dog picking games. What's not to like? It's the second time we've had a slide like this on this or that this year.
I already answered. You're not arguing versus me.
Clearly, if they think it's good enough for 2 slides, it's a great addition. Okay, that'll do it for this or that. I want your answer to the last question actually on Twitter. Use the hashtag this or that.
Get that social media engagement going.
We got NALCS. It's every week. It starts at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday. The countdown begins. We may or may not have pets next week. It depends if we get something good. And we may or may not have inanimate objects unless we're like not creative with stuff. But watch it. It'll be good.